Good, but we're on the radio, remember?
Right! Hi, Mom.
Customized small business banking from Old National Bank. Member FDIC. Get old.
Is your business's pavement showing signs of wear and tear? Patriot Pavement Maintenance specializes in simplifying pavement maintenance and construction for industrial, commercial, and educational clients throughout Illinois. Based in Wheeling with over 30 years of experience, they provide asphalt paving, seal coating, concrete repair, and non-toxic solutions to protect and enhance your surfaces. Call 847-813-9034 or visit patriotpavement.net for a proposal. Patriot Pavement Maintenance. Pavement maintenance and construction made simple. patriotpavement.net.
Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Cubs, Sox at Wrigley as we approach the top of the...
Man, these seats.
I know, right? Thank you, Game Time.
Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
In my opinion, so I think it's just the quality of at-bats and the production just from the at-bat quality from everybody, no matter who's in the box. It's going to be super fun to watch.
Was that something that you guys consciously talked about as a clubhouse? Did it come from the manager? Because it's different than what we saw last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's it's not necessarily something we've harped on. I think it's just every day, every meeting, it's like everybody just having their at bat, having their approach, and once you step into the box, it's kind of you against the pitcher. You're trying to do whatever you can to pass the time. You're trying to do whatever you can to drive in a run, to get a guy over, to try to have a good at bat. And I think just DK mails, PP, just every day it's kind of harping on just having good at bats, trusting your approach, and I think over the course of time that kind of just gets ingrained in your head.
For people who don't know, the guy who has the locker right next to you, Pete Crow Armstrong, from your vantage point, where has this come from?
I think it's just come from, obviously he's uber talented, but like his hard work, being able to be next to him and see how he goes about his day. We're often hitting, at similar times during the day and do some on-field work together. Like the quality of work and, the daily grind that he has, it's fun to watch, and it only helps him. But yeah, you combine talent with dedication and intent and hard work. That's kind of, in my opinion, what you're seeing on a day-to-day basis.
How does he stay humble? Or is there another part of him that we're not aware of?
I think that's just his personality. That's a guy who he's super, like, one of my favorite players to watch. He can do it all. He can defend, he can run, literally can do it all. But just his personality, he loves to win. He's a big team guy, great person to have in the clubhouse. I love being next to him in the locker room. just a great dude, uber competitor. He's been a lot of fun to watch lately.
You lived it with the Dodgers, coming up in that system and understanding it's all about winning. This year, that's here now with the Cubs. As a player, how special does that make it when every day you come to the park and the goal is something far better than just playing a game?
Yeah, it's fun to win.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell. Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The summer starts here at Toyota. From sun-soaked adventure to weekend getaways, our versatile lineup is ready to ride. Visit your local Toyota dealer and save big. Toyota, let's go places.
Cubs Sox at Wrigley. Time now to hear from Cubs bench coach Ryan Flaherty, who was subbing for Craig Counsell in the pregame meeting with the media. To be clear, Counsell is managing the team today, and this meeting is sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Flaherty has been impressed by the Cubs offense.
It's been fun to watch for sure. I think, I've done it a lot of different ways via the home run, played some small ball, the athleticism on the bases. It's been able to do it a lot of different ways. The wind's going out, the wind's going in, and it's been fun to watch. So, yeah.
Craig said yesterday was a big day for Ian, just to kind of go through his full workout. What's the latest on him? How is he doing? How did that go?
Yeah, he had a good day running the bases. Tomorrow he's going to be on the field again, so he's progressing well, and yeah.
You think there's a chance he can come off at a minimum stint on the IL?
I don't think there's any update yet. I know he's going to be on the road trip, and then we'll see where we go from there.
When you look at Pete from last year to kind of what he's done, especially this last month, what stands out to you most about the progression and development he's made?
I think, just the impact he's had in the club, and what he's been able to do with the catchers, and the right fielder. I think it's just the development of those two positions, center field and catchers both, it's been really carried us. So specifically, I don't know what it is. I think there's a lot of his confidence on it, quite frankly, and him learning himself and learning what the other teams are doing to him. And I think, him putting that together, is what's brought it all together.
The baseball board next on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. Step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. That's circasports.com.
As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has greeted fans with sustainable restroom products at Wrigley Field for 111 years.
I try to get a lot of stuff done before the game because I actually enjoy watching the games. We want to make sure that all the players are out there in the uniforms and they're clean, there's no spots or anything, and they have all their equipment and everything else.
We all pick each other up and we have each other's back. We all do different duties, but yeah, we all work together pretty well.
They're part of the team, you know, it's just like another teammate.
Still wants somebody. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit. He towers over everybody. Randy's got to change his cap.
Oh, jeez. There you go. That looks better. Get that D-backs hat on, Randy.
C.J. Abrams has gone deep twice for Washington. The Nationals leading the Orioles 7-0, bottom of the second inning in Baltimore. Bottom three in Philadelphia, no score between the Pirates and Phillies. Braves and Red Sox are scoreless in the third at Fenway. Tigers leading the Blue Jays 2-0. They're in the top of the third. Spencer Torkelson with a two-run double. Bottom two in Cincinnati, no score between the Guardians and Reds. Last of the second in Miami. Rays and Marlins are scoreless. Cardinals and Royals underway in Kansas City. They are scoreless. Twins and Brewers, no score, top of the first in Milwaukee. Here at Wrigley Field, it's time for baseball. Cubs, White Sox, Pat, Ron. Next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Nico Horner here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
News just in. That's today.
And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers. Got the orange outline, which represented the Giants, which are the two teams that left New York. And then subsequently, the Mets were created. You know, my parents were Mets fans growing up, and this was the jersey that I also dreamed of wearing.
Volvo, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Coomer with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's the third and final game of this series between the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. It's cool, it's cloudy, but it's dry, and the ball game is going to start right on time. The Cubs have a chance to sweep all three in the series, having won on Friday by a 13-3 score, and yesterday 7-3. Colin Ray is the right-handed starting pitcher for the Cubs today. Colin will bring a 3-0 record into the game against Jonathan Cannon, a big young right-hander who is 2-4, but he has not pitched badly, as his 3.60 ERA would indicate. Big crowd at Wrigley, a sellout. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for today's game. Sponsored by Verizon, the most reliable 5G in Chicago. Leading off for the White Sox, Chase Mydrith at short, Miguel Vargas at third base. Batting third, the designated hitter for the White Sox is Joshua Palacios. Luis Robert Jr. in center. Josh Rojas batting fifth, Rojas playing second base. Edgar Caro catching. Tim Elko at first base. Brooks Baldwin is batting eighth and playing in left, and Michael Taylor rounds out the lineup in right field. Let's take a timeout. We'll be back with the Cubs lineup and then get this ball game underway, the Cubs and the White Sox, right after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Join us for some Cubs talk every morning. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
Make your house a home with premium paints and stains from Benjamin Moore. Achieve long-lasting color and beauty with Aura, Regal Select, and Ben for interiors. Or protect your exteriors with Element Guard and new Woodlux exterior stains. Available exclusively at locally owned Benjamin Moore stores. Their high-quality products ensure a flawless finish every time. Ready to start your next project? Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a retailer near you. Benjamin Moore. See the love.
FinishingChicago.com for the industry's best drywall finishing, wall covering, glass systems, signage, and painting contractors. Rely on FinishingChicago.com.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yingling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yingling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And Pat, Cubs have had two great pitched outings by the starters, Cade Horton and Matthew Boyd. If they get another one today from Colin Ray, you could have a sweep for the Cubs today.
Cubs offense has shown up big time, also scoring a total of 20 runs in the first two games. Let's see what happens today. Chase Mydrith will lead it off against Colin Ray. The big right-hander fires. It's in for a strike, and away we go. Let's give you the Cubs lineup. Pete Crow Armstrong leads off in center. Kyle Tucker in right, Seiya Suzuki in left. Now the 0-1 from Ray. Line to left down the line. That's a fair ball. Extra base knock from Mydrith. He will pull into second with a standing double. He's going to take a turn at second and hold on as Suzuki took some extra time getting that ball back in. When a ball is hit to the corners at Wrigley, Ron and I cannot see it because we are blocked out by the side wall. But we still haven't seen it. And I know what happened. It stuck right next to the wall. So Seiya was waiting for the carom that never came.
On 2 days in a row, Mydrith has hit that high pitch up about shoulder high. Yesterday he hit one in the seats. Today a double. I'd change my location pitching against him.
Here's a liner to right. Coming in and making the catch is Tucker. Tagging from second and going to third is Mydrith. Tucker came in and slid on his knees, and when the runner at second, Mydrith, saw that slide by the right fielder, that's when he decided to tag up and move up to third.
Good base running, good execution on situational hitting of, getting a guy to second, move him over. And I think for Tucker, Pat, the lights are on. Now it's an overcast day somewhat, but with the lights on, that is a problem, that low line drive at the right fielder.
Joshua Palacios will swing and miss. Infield in. Interesting with the ball game just in the top of the first. A runner at third, one away. Craig Counsell orders the infield in. Here comes the 0-1. That's off the inside, 1-1.
Very different day today than it has been the last two. The wind is blowing in and it's much cooler today. So Craig Counsell thinking probably a lot less scoring opportunities because the home run ball might not come into play for everybody.
The next pitch, fisted foul. Good pitch by Ray in on the hands of the left-handed batting Palacios. Let's finish the Cubs lineup. We gave you Armstrong in center, Crow Armstrong. Tucker in right, Suzuki in left. Michael Busch hits cleanup at first. Colin Ray ready in the 1-2. Fly ball shallow left. Coming in Suzuki. He's going to make the catch. Mydrith is going to try to tag and score. The throw to the plate. He's going to be out. What a throw by Suzuki. All the way on the fly. A strike. Score that one 7-2. That's the best throw we've ever seen Suzuki cut loose in a Cub uniform, I am pretty sure. What a throw.
Absolutely. He's coming in on a line drive, catches it, takes one step, and throws a strike from 250 feet from home plate. Great play.
White Sox get...
The biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
From game time to prime time, it's the local channels you love, the news you need, and the sports you can't live without. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium, a $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
When it comes to tuxedos and suits, the pros at Suits 2020 have the winning looks. Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
Pete Crow Armstrong swings and misses at the first offering by Jonathan Cannon. Cannon, huge right-hander, coming back 0-1. Here's a liner foul down the right field line. Cubs leadoff man presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Crow Armstrong gets a base hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, way outside for a ball. Ron, before we talk about Jonathan Cannon and what the plan will be against him, what a great throw by Seiya Suzuki to end the top of the first. Here's the 1-2 pitch fouled away, still 1-2.
And he played it perfectly. He came in, but didn't come in so much that he had to catch the ball up above his head. He caught it and was able to get right into the throwing action. And, you know, from where he threw the ball in medium deep left field, he threw an absolute strike on the fly.
Deep fly ball left center. Going back is Luis Robert. Can't get it. It bounces off his glove. Crow Armstrong around second. He's going for 3. The relay. He's got a triple. Robert got a glove on that deep drive, but he couldn't hold on to it. And as soon as it hit the ground, Pete Crow Armstrong was off and sailing. I don't think there's another big leaguer today, Ron, who gets from home plate to third base as quickly as Pete Crow Armstrong.
Well, I hope we got a clock on that last one because that was unreal. That is a double period for everybody. And all of a sudden, you saw Pete about halfway to second base, and you could just see the Jets kick in, and he was going to third. As soon as Robert didn't pick that ball up perfectly, cleanly, he was going to third, and he just outran the play.
Infield in for the Sox. No score bottom of the first. Kyle Tucker with an RBI opportunity. The pitch to Kyle is high. Triples by the Cubs. Great Lakes Credit Union makes another donation to the Northern Illinois Food Bank on every Cub triple. Join GLCU's mission of banking for a greater good at glcu.org. The pitch to Tucker. A little pop fly foul out of play. Ron, you had to bat in this spot many times. A man at third, nobody out. What's the plan?
The plan would be for me never to try to hook that ball. I did not want to have any opportunity of rolling over that ground ball right into the defense playing in.
Tucker, it's a ground ball right side. Diving stop by Elko. He will go to the bag unassisted, holding Crow Armstrong at third. Good play by the first baseman, Elko. And that's out number 1.
Yeah, excellent play. This is a ball. It looks like an off-speed pitch. It's up and out over the plate, and that's what happened. Tuck got out front, and then you run out of bat, and you start rolling over. Your swing starts finishing, and you hook that ground ball. My goal, now obviously you don't always do it, would be to drive that ball to center or the opposite way.
Seiya Suzuki had that tremendous throw in the top of the inning. Let's see if he can drive in the first run of the game right now as he takes a strike. Infield in for the Sox.
Pete Crow Armstrong now at third base will be going on contact from third.
Here's a drive into left field. Should be deep enough. Crow Armstrong is tagging. The catch by Baldwin. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is going to be not in time. Pete Crow Armstrong slides in head first, stands up and makes the safe call himself as if he was the 5th umpire on that play.
Well, there's going to be 40,000 people that are agreeing with him, I can promise you that. I mean, talk about an odd first inning. We almost had the exact same play to end the inning, or it didn't because Pete outran the play. This ball a little deeper than the ball Suzuki had to throw, and when you got maybe the fastest guy in Major League Baseball, you like your chances at home plate, and he ends up scoring.
He went in head first. He slid a little bit to the inside of home instead of the foul territory side as he sensed that throw was going to be slightly offline, and it was, but it was a good throw, but not nearly in time. 1-0 Cubs. RBI number 38 for Suzuki. And now Michael Busch swings and misses 0-1.
White Sox did appeal at third base. I don't blame him, because if you're not totally watching, you'd go, he can't get there that quick. That's just not,
Here's a swing and a line drive, base hit to center for Michael Busch. Cubs have their second hit in the inning. Cubs lead 1-0. And the batter is Carson Kelly. All RBIs by the Cubs. Sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Old National Bank, that is. There was a double play turned by the Cubs defense on that phenomenal throw by Suzuki. Now Busch runs the pitch inside, stolen base. Busch didn't even have to slide at second. That's how big his jump was. So now base hit could drive in another run.
Now we saw this yesterday. The Cubs on offense from first base taking off early, and the White Sox not paying close attention to the runner at first base. They left early twice yesterday in the 6 stolen bases. It happens again today.
Busch, the cleanup hitter, a first baseman stealing a bag, something you don't see every day.
Got to watch for the pickoff right now at second base. Their second baseman is giving the pickoff sign like he wants to pick at second. Rojas.
Kelly hitting .299, swings at a breaking ball, doesn't get it. 2-1. Double play is turned by the Cubs, sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com. And the 2-1. Outside for a ball. Cannon dropped down to about 3/4 sidearm on that one. 3-1. Do I even need to ask if he has the green light here?
Not to me.
He's ready to swing on 3-1. Number 5 hitter, first inning, you bet. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball to right. Pretty well hit, but it is playable for Taylor. Coming in, and he's going to make the catch to end the inning. Cubs get a run on 2 hits. And the fans electrified by the speed of Pete Crow Armstrong again. After 1, Cubs 1, Sox nothing on the...
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till it thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play.
Chemotherapy plan, so I didn't have to choose between my life and my baby's.
Top ranked in Illinois for obstetrics and gynecology by U.S. News and World Report, Robin's team collaborated to deliver a healthy baby and mother, performing a C-section then cancer removal the same day. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Hefty Trash Bags, the official trash bags of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty Ultra Strong Trash Bags resist rips, tears, and leaks. Strength that's anything but ordinary.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
After 1 inning of play, the Cubs lead the White Sox 1-0. The first inning was powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. Pat?
Luis Robert Jr. drives one to deep right field. Back goes Tucker. On the track, makes the catch. The wind is blowing in from right today. On another day, that ball might have left the yard.
Yeah, it's a much different day today. Now, yesterday afternoon, when the wind was blowing out to right, that's a home run. But not today. Good fastball by Ray. He's going to end up throwing somewhere around 94 miles an hour. Speed gun, as always, powered by Xfinity. Gets seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Josh Rojas, left-handed hitter, takes a strike. Cubs had a stolen base from Michael Busch in the first. When there is a stolen base, it's another Cubs steal. Steals are powered by a Toro tire. Fastball is inside. Colin Ray, one of the unsung heroes on this Cubs team in the first 1/3 of the year. What a job he's done. 3-0, 2.48 ERA. Chopper foul. He and the guy we saw yesterday, Matthew Boyd, just kind of quietly making good start after good start, time after time. This is his 83rd big league start. He is 29-20. Ground ball to second, scooped up by Horner. Easy play, and that's out number 2.
I couldn't agree more. And another good fastball by Ray. The thing to me, he throws that fastball on the edges of the strike zone, whether it be in or out, with great command, and he can move it up and down, and that's the other big key. And that was a fastball up and in, and gets the little routine ground ball to second.
Cubs lead 1-0, second inning. Another left-handed batter, Edgar Caro, will take a strike.
Second inning brought to you by Seaglass Wines, official partner of the Cubs. Bring the California coast to you wherever you are.
Caro takes outside, 1-1. A little on the chilly side, not bad. 54 degrees. Here's the 1-1. Loop down the left field line. Fair ball bouncing against the sidewall. Suzuki will throw to second, and holding it first is Caro. Maybe Caro recalled as he was running that throw that Suzuki made in the first inning.
Now this is pretty good swing on an inside fastball. Brings the hands in and inside outs this ball. Past Brujan at third, nothing he could do. It's just inside the bag, but yeah, I would agree with this. Suzuki got to that ball in really good shape and got it in.
54 degrees, game time temp. Sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. A swing and a liner foul down the right field line off the bat of Tim Elko. E-L-K-O. Elko's hometown, Wichita, Kansas. A week ago today, had his first big league hit. It was a game-winning home run against Sandy Alcantara of Miami at Guaranteed Rate Field. Wide open stance, the pitch. Swing and a foul back, 0-2.
Another good fastball by Ray at top of the zone, 94 miles an hour.
Game time temp, 54. Sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. Four Seasons. Now the 0-2 from Ray to Elko. Inside, almost hit him. And that ball off the glove of Kelly, but it stayed near the home plate area, so no advance by the runner, Caro.
Now this is, we used to call that the cement mixer as a hitter. The pitch came out as a slider, but it just spun. It didn't break at all. And, it just spun in there, and kind of an odd pitch.
Thanks for looking at me when you said the word odd. Here's a pitch outside, and the count now 2-2.
That's why we get along so well.
Lights have been turned on at Wrigley. A full house. We've had over 40,000 for each of the first two games. Now the pitch. Low and outside, 3-2. Traveling time now for Caro at first. Elko homered in yesterday's game, his second as a big leaguer. Cubs lead 1-0. Busch playing behind the runner. No need to hold him with a full count and 2 down. You know he's going to be moving anyway. There he goes. The pitch. Lifted foul off to the right and out of play. Final game of the homestand. And it's been a good homestand. The Cubs have won 4 of the 5, losing only the finale to Miami on Wednesday night. So they are 4-1 with this finale here today. Now the payoff pitch. Swinging a foul back again. Beautiful green ivy on the outfield walls. And it'll be there for the rest of the season until October when it starts to turn a little brown. Cubs are hoping to be right here when that browning takes place on the ivy. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Colin Ray. Elko fouls another one away, spoiling some pretty good pitches.
Yeah, I would like to see what the ivy looks like in early November, Pat, to be honest with you.
That would be right around the time for the World Series. I see where you're going there.
Yeah. There you go. We've done that once. When we talk to fans, I don't usually like to be greedy, but yeah, we did that every year. I wouldn't bother me a bit.
It's been 9 years since the World Series. Here's a foul off to the right out of play. In fact, Game 7 of the World Series was November 2nd of 2016. Three and two down. Second inning, Cubs lead 1-0. And the payoff from Colin Ray. Big chop to short, charging is Swanson. He'll take his time and make a running throw to first to get him. No runs and a hit, a man left. Middle of inning number 2. Cubs 1, White Sox nothing. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Pete Crow Armstrong here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you. Did
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
$50 raffle tickets with a current jackpot of $166,459. Get your ticket now through the end of the game at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning. Pat?
Very good, Zach. Cubs in their home white uniforms today. Blue pinstripes all over. Blue hats and helmets, sleeves and socks. Some guys have white shoes. Most of the Cubs have white shoes. A few have blue and black. White Sox in their traveling unis, the black shirts, white numbers on their backs, gray trousers. Both teams wearing the Armed Forces white hats all weekend long. Umpires also wearing the hats. Dansby Swanson's been a hot hitter of late, and he will lead off and take a strike from the right-hander Jonathan Cannon. Cubs lead 1-0. Swanson's been on base with either a hit or a walk in 17 straight games. And he'll take a fastball outside 1-1 in a very good groove lately.
He's been covering the zone. He's been using the other side of the field. But his approach is going back through the middle with his move towards the baseball, and that's where the change has really come into play.
Inside 2-1.
Driving the ball to left, using the right center gap, base hits to right, gap shots to right center. He's really covering the strike zone well.
Now the 2-1. Big bouncer toward short, charging and making the pick is Mydrith and throws to first in time. One shortstop bounces out to the other. One away, and Moises Ballesteros, the batter. Uniform descriptions we gave you, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Here is Moises Ballesteros. Moises takes low and inside for a ball. He is 1 for 7 in this series. Let's see if he can wrap out a couple of knocks today. Young guys need that one good game relatively quickly in their big league career, just to get that confidence going, that old feeling that you've had your whole life, and that feeling kind of goes away if you go 0 for 10 in the big leagues.
Yeah, the big leagues is a whole different animal than anything you've done, and the confidence for young players is a big deal.
Wrapped on the ground to second, scooped up by Rojas, and he'll throw out Ballesteros, 2 down. Cubs lead 1-0 in the second, and the batter is Nico Horner.
Ballesteros pulling a lot of balls, and see if he can. I'm going to guess he's going to try to start driving the ball back through the middle the other way a little bit. He's a designated hitter today for the Cubs. That's sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle.
Nico takes a strike. Outfield straight away against Horner. They have to be. He is very much a spray hitter. Defensive alignment, by the way. Here is a pitch in there for a strike. Defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. The strike 2 pitch to Horner. Hit in the air to right center. Playable for Robert. Almost in his tracks. Makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jonathan Cannon. It's on to inning number 3. Cubs 1, White Sox nothing on the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
Top 3 at Wrigley, 55 degrees, wind blowing in. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Pat?
Colin Ray, Cubs right-hander, working on Brooks Baldwin. The left-handed batting left fielder takes down low for ball 1. Baldwin hitting .220. He'll be followed by Michael Taylor and then Chase Mydrith. Shallow at third is Brujan. Here's a foul out of play, 1-1.
All reviews in the game, they're sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Now the 1-1, that's going to be low and inside. Final game of the series. There will be 3 more between these two teams in late July on the south side, July 25, 6, and 7 at Guaranteed Rate Field. There is a strike 2-2. The sun is trying to fight its way through the clouds with little success at this point. There is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Baldwin caught looking, 1 down. Cubs lead 1-0, and the batter, Michael Taylor.
Excellent backdoor hook. This ball starts out away and starts coming back to the corner, and then towards the end, it really bites back towards that outside corner. Great job by Kelly holding that pitch right on the outside corner for strike 3.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, as Colin Ray flips another breaking ball strike to Michael Taylor. Taylor, tall, slender, right-handed batter. He bunts it foul. Taylor almost could have been ruled out on that play. He bunted it and then started to run to first. And if he's completely out of the batter's box and he runs into a fair ball, he's out.
I thought the umpires did a very nice job. It's kind of a simple thing, but if you're not watching, you didn't see. Jeremy Rayhack instantly, when the ball hit Taylor, looked down at John Tumpain at first base, and John went foul ball. And, instantly you get the call right.
Strike 3 swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Colin Ray. I remember Ron working solo umpiring jobs in amateur ball, and boy, that's a tough play to call. You're blocked out by some big catcher, and when did it hit the runner when he was running to first? Not easy. This pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, it is a very tough play, but I thought, right away they did a good job, kind of appealed down to John Tumpain at first, did Rayhack, and he got the call right, no big deal.
There's a fastball strike.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Thinking of umpires working together. Here comes the 1-1. That's off the inside. There was a famous picture, I think in Sports Illustrated or Sporting News, many, many years ago. It's a photo. One umpire is calling the guy safe. The other is pumping him out. Same exact play. Think that might have led to an argument or two.
Yeah.
At least one, certainly. 3-1 on Chase Mydrith. 2 down, bases empty. The pitch by Ray. That's going to be strike 2 called. Mydrith ready to take his base. Thought it was outside. Jeremy Rayhack said, nope, it hit the corner. Now the payoff from Colin Ray. Fly ball, right field, pretty well hit, but plenty of room for Tucker. He's got it to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, 3 shutout innings so far for Colin Ray. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox 0 on the score. And oh, by the way, this
to see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's awesome.
Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
Earn up to a $650 bonus when you open an eligible checking account and complete qualifying activities. Visit oldnational.com/checking and get old. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through June 2nd, 2025.
Car accident? Call D&W right now. Slip and fall? Call D&W right now. Any accident at all? Call D&W Law right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
Vidal Brujan, batting 9th in the order, will lead off this 3rd inning. I remember reading a column when Sammy Sosa worked with some of the Cubs hitters in spring training, Brujan being one of them. Brujan, born in 1998, the same year that Sosa hit 66 home runs and was the league MVP. But both Sammy Sosa and Vidal Brujan are from the same hometown, San Pedro de Macorís, in the Dominican Republic. Here's a swing and a pop-up left side, playable for Vargas. The third baseman makes the catch, but Vidal Brujan was thrilled to have a chance to work with Sammy Sosa on his hitting.
Absolutely. I was there in camp when all that was going on, and for a lot of the young Cub hitters, it was really exciting for them. But could you imagine Brujan? Since he has been born, you have heard about the great Sammy Sosa and the league MVP being from your hometown and the pride, and now all of a sudden you're in the big leagues getting hitting instruction from the hero of your hometown.
I would listen to him.
Absolutely, and he did. Yeah.
One away, Pete Crow Armstrong with a strike. Pete scored the game's only run back in the first after a triple that would have been a double for most human beings. But Pete able to turn on the Jets on his drive that hit off the glove of Robert in deep left center, and he made that into a triple with his blazing speed. Now Pete checks and takes down low 1-2. Let's see if Pete can get on and crank up another rally right now. Cubs lead 1-0. Next offering is high.
They continue to try to throw Pete up top and see if he'll chase that high fastball.
Two pitch popped up. Might be playable. Foul territory for Vargas over near the stands. Makes the catch. And that's out number 2. It's time to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. We've been right in that 40,000 neighborhood each of the first 2 games. I don't see any reason why it should be any different today. I'm going to guess 40,104.
Okay.
Tucker, the batter, takes a strike. Kyle robbed on a good play by Elko, the first baseman, in the first inning.
I'm going to go 40,300.
Tucker takes outside, 1-1. Cubs will head to the airport and fly down to Miami later on tonight and take on the Marlins in a 3-game series commencing tomorrow evening. Next pitch in for a strike. 1-2 on Kyle Tucker. Tomorrow night, Ben Brown against Edward Cabrera in a battle of right-handers. There's the 1-2, check swing foul back. Cubs have penciled in Jamison Tyone for the Tuesday night game and rookie Cade Horton for Game 3 in the series. Now, Game 3 is a day game at 12:10 Central on Wednesday. Thursday is an off day. The Cubs are in Cincinnati, taking on the Reds for the first time this year in a weekend series beginning Friday night in Ohio. Waiting for Zach Zaidman and Paul Zarang to make their attendance picks. Now the 1-2 by Cannon is outside 2-2.
I'll go 40,000 on the dot, Pat. And Paul Zarang, the maestro, our engineer, going 40,222.
Okay, we're all in that same neighborhood. And the 2-2. Lined foul off to the left. 10 for ID right here on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
Tucker takes just outside. 3-2 on Kyle.
Excellent take on that changeup. That was a good pitch. Just missed down and off the plate. Not by more than a baseball, either way.
Cannon keeping everything away from Kyle. And now the next pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Cubs do nothing. It's on to inning number 4. Cubs 1, White Sox nothing on The Score. And the
There's so much history here. And when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run and I become a fan for life.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Citgo. Club Citgo can save you money every day. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Jack Leiter had a no-hitter through 6 in the 7th inning, though. Yainer Diaz hit a solo shot for the Astros, so top of the 8th in Texas. Rangers leading the Astros 3-1.
Is that Al Leiter's son?
It is.
Thank you. Miguel Vargas will lead off this 4th inning against right-hander Colin Ray. Cubs on top 1-0, each team with 2 hits. The pitch to Vargas fouled away, 1-1, Zach.
Other action, top of the 6th, Pat. C.J. Abrams with a pair of home runs. The Nationals all over the Orioles, 8-1 in Baltimore. Phillies strike first, a 1-0 lead over the Pirates in the top of the 7th. Brandon Marsh driving in a run via a fielder's choice.
The 1-1 is a strike, 1-2.
Rafael Devers has a grand slam for Boston, but after 5, it's the Braves with a 7-4 lead over the Red Sox. Tigers and Blue Jays tied at 2 after 5 innings of play in Toronto. The Reds a 2-0 lead over the Guardians in the top half of the 5th inning. Will Benson a home run for Cincinnati. He's homered now in 4 straight.
Down low, 2-2.
The Marlins lead the Rays 3-1. Middle 5 in Miami. Otto Lopez with a 3-run home run for the Marlins. After 3, Cardinals and Royals scoreless in Kansas City. The Brewers with a 4-0 lead over the Twins in the 3rd.
Twins' long winning streak of 13 in a row sounds like it's on the line today, down by 4 runs.
Later on, A's and Giants in San Francisco.
Swinging a foul at the plate. Go ahead, Zach.
The Angels and Dodgers in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium. Mariners and Padres in San Diego. And the night game, Mets and Yankees in the Bronx.
Here at Wrigley, it's the Cubs 1, the White Sox 0. We're in the top of the 4th. Miguel Vargas waiting for the 3-2 pitch, checks his swing and fouls it back. That pitch was well off the inside corner. He didn't mean to swing and inadvertently fouled it back.
I think he's probably happy that he made contact, because if he didn't, that ball's going to hit him and swing.
That would be doubly painful.
Yeah.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. High drive, deep left field, trouble. All the way back is Suzuki at the wall. It's gone for a home run. And the game is tied 1-1. Miguel Vargas with his 6th home run of the year.
Well, Vargas had 2 home runs in the first game of this series. Had a very nice day. He is a good-looking young hitter, good-looking player, and he hits this ball a mile in the air. And Suzuki goes back to the ivy and then just camps out there waiting to see where this ball is going to come down, and it comes down about 3 rows deep into the bleachers.
1-1 game. Vargas with his 21st run batted in on his 6th home run of the year. And back to even, tied at 1. Joshua Palacios takes outside. Palacios is the guy that lined out to left and it turned into a double play in the first inning. His drive was caught by Suzuki, who then made a brilliant throw to the plate to cut down Chase Mydrith, who tried to tag up after the grab. That's the defensive gem of the day. We're going to go ahead and call that the catch of the game as well. 3-0 pitch in for a strike. Catch of the game sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover a weekend getaway in Des Moines where only the S's are silent. Find all the fun at CatchDesMoines.com. 3-1 to Palacios. Fouled away. 3-2.
4th inning sponsored by Wintrust, home of the exclusive Cubs debit card. Member FDIC, EHL lender.
Always a great atmosphere when these two teams play. Here's a one-hop line drive to second, fielded by Horner. Short toss to first in time. And that's out number one. The first out in the inning. Brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. One away, a run in. Game tied at 1. And the batter is Luis Robert Jr. Robert lined out to right his first time. Hits a lazy fly ball to shallow center. Loping in and making a routine catch is Pete Crow Armstrong. One center fielder has just flied out to the other. 2 down, and the batter, Josh Rojas.
Nice pitch by Colin Ray. A little slider away. And like Robert was on it, and then the ball just has that late break going to the outside corner, and he just couldn't stay on that pitch enough and just hit the routine, as you said, pop-up Pete Crow Armstrong.
Looking at some of the news around baseball, Ron, kind of sad to see the news about Brandon Hyde being fired as Baltimore Orioles manager. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Rojas. It's low and inside, ball 2. One of the best people you'll ever meet in the game, Brandon Hyde. He will get another job, another managerial job, and I would say probably fairly soon.
Yeah. Well, I think, it's tough. He went through the rebuild with Baltimore. They built up that club, and then now they're a good team. But subtraction going into this season by losing Burns, you lose one of the best pitchers in the game, that's going to leave a mark on your ball club.
And the outfielder Santander, or Dare,
dare
I say. Here's a pitch outside to Josh Rojas, 3-1. He signed with Toronto, I believe, right?
I mean, you start, they're a good young team, but boy, you just can't miss certain key players, and they're not the same ball club as they were last year.
Swing and a miss. And plus, Ron, it's rarely the manager's fault when you look at certain things. Baltimore's pitching staff had an ERA of 5.33 when he was fired. That's not his fault.
No.
Charlie Morton, the veteran sign, is 0-7 with an 8.35 ERA. That's not Brandon Hyde's fault. But that's the way it's always been. The manager takes the blame for the team's shortcomings. 1 run on 1 hit as Rojas strikes out to end the inning. Miguel Vargas homer has tied the game at 1 as we...
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bock beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
Visit IBJI.com for locations.
Seiya Suzuki is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. And guys, league leaders is sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Aaron Judge leads the majors in batting average, hitting .402.
Seiya Suzuki fouls it away. Zach, what else you got?
Shohei Ohtani leads the majors in home runs with 16. The Giants' Wilmer Flores, the RBI leader, with 42. But right on his heels, Pete Crow Armstrong with 38 and Seiya Suzuki with 38. Aaron Judge has 41 ribbies.
Fastball strike to Suzuki.
Judge also leads in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, hits. Ohtani leads in runs.
Here's a pitch low and outside, 1-2.
And the guy playing center field for the White Sox today, Luis Robert Jr., is the stolen base leader with 17, Pat.
Zach, thank you for the updates. See where the Cubs are second in the major leagues, second out of the 30 teams in run scoring, always a key number. 264 runs for the Cubs offense so far, 4 behind the Dodgers. Now the windup and the 1-2 to Seiya Suzuki. Inside, almost hit him. 2-2. Cardinals have won 12 out of 13. Minnesota has won 13 in a row at the start of play today. Those are two red-hot teams. Suzuki takes strike 3 called. Off-speed pitch got him. One away. Michael Busch coming up in a 1-1 game.
Molly Naw talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday morning from 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score in the Odyssey app. I'll be on with those boys on Friday at 8 o'clock. And that will be from Cincinnati. We will be in Cincy during that time.
First game's against the Reds for the year. It's always been a good rivalry going back well over a century. Cubs and Cincinnati. Busch takes ball 1. Michael had a single his first time. He takes outside. The wind is blowing much more toward left than it is to right today. So Busch's best chance for a home run might be opposite field or opposite alley. He swings away and fouls it away. 2-1. Cubs are 8 games above 500, which equals their high water mark for the year. They have not yet achieved a record of 9 games above. They would like to get there today. Here's the 2-1. Driven towards center. Luis Robert right there to make the catch. 2 down.
Second ball, Bushy's hit right on the button. That's a line drive back to Robert. Might have caught it just a touch off the end of the bat, but hit a bullet to right, so he's hit the ball hard twice with a single.
Thinking of numbers, Ron, in this full series of 3 games between the Cubs and White Sox, the starting lineups, not a single 300 hitter on either team to begin any of the 3 games. And it seems like going back over the years, there's always been 1 or 2 guys on just about every team that are hitting 300 or 305, 310. Here's the 0-1. It's low and outside. Would that be more of the emphasis on the long ball these days than on just plain old base hits?
Yeah, and just the way that hitting is taught now, a lot of these young guys have been taught, a certain method of swinging, and the pitchers countered it, and the hitters, to be quite frank, just haven't caught up yet. They just haven't. That everybody wanted the guys swinging up and elevating the ball and doing all those things, and since then the averages have been plummeting, and that's just the way it's been. They just got to figure something out to change that.
Kelly takes strike 3 called, and the inning comes to an end. Cubs do nothing. It's on to inning number 5. Zach Zaidman joins Ron Coomer in a moment. Cubs 1, White Sox 1 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Kyle Tucker. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century. And certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
They've been with you. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Top of the fifth, 1-1 ball game. Colin Ray deals. Edgar Quero swings and fouls one back off the netting to the left. 0-1. Quero singled his first time up in the second. He's 1 for 1 today. The right-hander Ray peers in, gets the sign from his catcher Kelly. Sets at the belt, works his motion, and deals. And that pitch is low, missed with a splitter, 1-1 the count. Cubs struck first, Seiya Suzuki, a sacrifice fly in the first. Sox tied it up in the fourth. Miguel Vargas went deep, a solo shot as that pitch misses outside. Another splitter from Ray, 2-1 on Quero. So that's where we stand. 1-1 Cubs and Sox here in the finale of this three-game set, top of the fifth. Ray kicks and fires. Quero looks at a strike on the outside corner, one of those slow-moving Ray breaking balls that clipped the outside portion of the plate for a strike, 2-2. The next pitch is up high, full count. Ray missing with a fastball. Partly cloudy, but plenty of sunshine here on this Sunday afternoon at Wrigley Field. Wind blowing in from right at the moment. The payoff pitch. Quero swings, lines one down the left field line, slicing foul out of play. It did not have home run distance.
Well, the sun is back out. It hasn't warmed anything up yet, but the sun's out.
Yeah, I'm stunned. I'm looking at you, and during the break, you put on a pullover.
I did, yeah. It's cool. I wouldn't say it's real cold here, but it's cool. And so he went with the pullover.
All right, I get it. Quero looks at ball 4 low, a splitter that missed. So leadoff walk for Quero and the Sox to begin the fifth. 1-1 ball game. And it'll bring up the power-hitting Tim Elko, the White Sox first baseman. He grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Hit a long home run to center field yesterday. The pitch, Elko fouls it back off the screen, 0-1.
Yeah, Elko, big, strong, good-looking hitter. Only got 18 at-bats in the big leagues from being called up, but he's got a couple bombs now. Vargas, another guy, he looks like a good, solid big league player. He really does. He's hit 3 home runs in this series already and made some plays at third.
The 0-1, Elko, awkward swing and miss at a slider off the outside, 0-2. Yeah, Vargas now with 6 home runs on the season, 3 of them, as you mentioned, this weekend against the Cubs. Rays ready. Here comes the 0-2. Elko looks at a ball high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind picking up a little bit. And I think because it's blowing in from right, makes it a little bit cooler here in the broadcast booth. I think.
I would agree.
No, the 1-2, foul back.
I would think the warmest spot in the ballpark today are the fans in right field in the bleachers. That wind is going right over the top of them. They're not feeling that at all, and they might not be feeling it anyway. You know what I mean? But just saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of mind-enhancing refreshments out there.
They've never been accused in our bleachers of not having fun. I'll say that, and I was part of that group when I was a kid, and that's an entertaining bunch out there.
Last pitch low, 2-2 the count. Man on first, no one out. Here in the top of the fifth, the White Sox game tied at 1. Ray deals low and outside. Elko has worked a full count. And we got to get Paul Zarang, because he's got the capability of doing this, to set us up for a broadcast at some point this season from the bleachers. The 3-2. Elko pounds one on the ground to short, fielded by Swanson. The flip to Horner at second. There's one. Throw to first, not in time. Elko beats it out. Cubs saying, hold on 1 second here. Craig Counsell wants to check with his replay man, Alex Smith. They are not going to challenge. So mark that one fielder's choice. 6-4. The lead man, Caro, erased from the bases. Elko safe at first.
Good call by John Tumpane at first base. I actually thought, from my vantage point, like Cubs might challenge. I thought it was a lot closer. John went a very good call. Was not that close. Elko, good hustle down the line.
The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. The batter now is the left fielder, Brooks Baldwin, hitting from the left side against the right-hander, Ray. Elko extends his lead off the first base bag, being held on by Bush. And the pitch is low to Baldwin, a splitter that missed, 1-0. Really the first time this afternoon we've seen Ray have to dig down and throw a lot of pitches here in this fifth inning.
He's at 75 pitches in the ball game here in the fifth. He's given up 1 run.
That pitch outside, 2-0.
Wind definitely a factor today with only 1 run scored on either side. It's only 5 hits in the ball game so far. 3 by the White Sox and 2 by the Cubs.
Ray works on the first base side of the rubber. The pitch high and outside. 3-0 now to Baldwin, the number 8 hitter in the White Sox order. Yeah, you knew right away it was going to be a different kind of ball game in the first inning after the leadoff double by Meidroth. Cubs play the infield in.
Yeah.
The pitch. Outside. Nope. Called strike by the home plate umpire, Jeremy Rayhack. 3-1 the count on Baldwin. Elko at first, 1 down here in the top of the fifth. Cubs 1, Sox 1. Ray's ready. A long set, and the pitch is inside, ball 4. So Baldwin draws a walk. Heading second, Elko just 1 away here in the top of the fifth. It'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Michael A. Taylor.
He's looking down at the Cubs dugout. I figured this would be a time for Tommy Hotovy to get out there. Very seldom do you see Colin Ray walk 2 guys in the same inning, and he was pumping in fastballs and missing his target. That last one missed down and in. And, missing by, the width of a baseball is one thing. You don't see Colin Ray missing too often. With 2 walks in this inning, so Tommy Hotovy out there kind of slowed things down, settled things down a little bit.
And the home plate umpire, Jeremy Rayhack, going out to the mound to break up that meeting. Wants to move this game along. So we are ready for the resumption of play. The White Sox threatening, men at first and second, just 1 away here in the top of the fifth. Michael A. Taylor at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Cut fastball from Ray.
That'll get you right back when you paint the outside corner. Perfect pitch. Cubs could use a little ground ball here, maybe turn a pair. Michael A. Taylor very fast at the plate.
The 0-1, a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Chased a slider off the outside.
That has been the one thing about Michael A. Taylor. He's very fast. He's got some pop in his bat, always has. But a right-handed hitter, he really likes to pull the baseball. And when you're as fast as he is, that means a lot of routine ground balls. He's not been a big power guy ever.
Elko at second, Baldwin at first. 1 down, 0-2 the count on the batter Taylor. Ray's ready, and the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Middle infielders at double play depth. Bush wide of the bag at first. Bruhan behind the bag at third, and that pitch is low and inside. It's now 2-2. Ray missing with a fastball. Taylor stands in. Upright stance, a little bend at the knees.
I think for Ray, his pace has slowed down too quite a bit.
The 2-2. A ground ball hit to short, fielded by Swanson to second for 1. Horner to first, dug out by Bush, not in time. Safe the call at first as Taylor beats that one out. Cubs saying hold on again. Craig Counsell thinking about challenging this one. Yep, and he's going to challenge.
John Tumpane, the first base umpire, coming in. He's going to let us know that the Cubs are going to challenge. I did think he was out, but then again, I thought the other one was closer, and then we saw the replay.
Chicago's challenging the safe call first base.
And I was not correct from up here. We're a little ways away, but this is going to be very close if the Cubs aren't correct, because Counsell did not burn this challenge here, but this could get him out of the inning. I think he's out. Yeah. That's a double play.
Yeah, Cubs have already jogged off the field. That was excellent eyes by the Cubs replay man, Alex Smith.
Great pick at first base on a tough hop by Michael Bush. Horner had to get rid of this ball in a hurry and fired it as hard as he could down. And Michael Bush with a great pick at first to get this double play. We're about to get the official word now.
Here's Chris Conroy, the crew chief.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is out. Chicago retains their challenge.
6-4-3 double play. Double plays turned by the Cubs are sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com. Middle 5, 1-1 game. Cubs and Sox on the score in the Southwest.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You are an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
On Saturday, May 31st, the Cubs take on the Reds at 1:20 in the afternoon. The first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Dansby-Swanson Flow headband presented by Hefty. Swanson leads off the last of the fifth. He swings, drills one deep center field. Robert going back. The wind knocking it down, and Robert makes the catch just short of the edge of the track in straightaway center field. Allowed out by Swanson. This was yesterday or the day before. That's probably a home run.
Yeah, that ball well struck. Has the sound coming off the bat. You know that. And, you know, the wind, as we've talked about, has picked up a little bit here over the last inning or so. And that ball just barely getting to the track in straightaway center.
So now the batter, Moises Ballesteros, the designated hitter. The pitch. From Cannon, misses outside, 1-0. Yeah, so if you want that Dansby-Swanson Flow headband presented by Hefty on May 31st, be here for it. Visit Cubs.com/tickets. Ballesteros swings and fouls it out of play off to the left. 1-1 the count. One down, bottom of the fifth. Cubs 1, White Sox 1. And we got word from the big boss, Mitch Rosen, as Ballesteros fouls one away again. Second deck off to the left, 1-2. We were talking in the top half of this frame that be really cool to broadcast the game from the bleachers, and Mitch Rosen, our boss at the Score, has let us know that as that pitch is fouled back off the netting, 1-2. Mitch says they're working on a potential broadcast from the bleachers or from the Yeti Yard in center in the outfield.
I love it.
This season. How cool would that be? Ballesteros lines one to right center field, racing over and making a beautiful backhanded catch is Taylor. He was going full speed to track that one down in right center field. Ballesteros is retired, 2 away.
Well, you love Ballesteros. You know, his swing, he had a great spring training, and, you know, he gets this ball, and now this time he gets through this ball. He didn't roll over this one. Hits a rocket in the right center. Nice play in right to cut that ball off by Taylor, but if he starts swinging like that and doing what he did all spring, he's going to do just fine here in the big leagues.
Nico Hoerner shows bunt, pulls it back, and looks at a ball outside from Jonathan Cannon, the big White Sox right-hander. The next pitch is outside again, 2-0 the count on Nico. Flied out to center in the second. He's 0 for 1. Tie game. Cubs 1, White Sox 1 with 2 away here in the fifth. Wind blowing in at the moment. Cannon deals, and Nico looks at a strike. Cutter. Cubs have some activity in their bullpen. The veteran left-hander Drew Pomerantz has started warming up. The pitch. Check swing at a pitch off the outside. On appeal, that's a strike, says John Tumpane. So the count 2-2.
With Pomerantz throwing in the pitch count of Colin Ray in the high 80s before that inning was over. That'll probably be the end of the day for Ray.
The 2-2. Lined off the netting to the right, foul.
Another good performance, though, by a starting pitcher by the Cubs. They had a rack of, you know, outings where just, you know, guys are just throwing the ball well. In this game, Colin Ray's pitch count got a little high, but still 5 innings, only gave up 1 run.
Nico chops one foul at the plate, 2-2.
When you're doing that, you're doing all right. There's nothing wrong with that, that's for sure. He and one pitch got hit into the seats, and other than that, he was pretty good. White Sox hitters, though, did a good job, their young hitters, of spoiling some pitches and running his pitch count up a little bit.
The 2-2. Nico grounds one up the middle, fielded on the edge of the outfield, grasped by the second baseman Rojas. His throw to first, dug out by Elko in time to get Hoerner, and the Cubs go down in order here in the fifth. After 5, still tied. Cubs 1, White Sox 1.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
A reminder that all opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Pat?
Zach, thank you. Chase Mydreth will lead off the White Sox 6th inning against Colin Ray. Ray has allowed only 3 hits. First pitch on the way to Mydreth is low and outside, ball 1. Cubs got their run in the first inning, a sacrifice fly by Seiya Suzuki, driving in Pete Crow Armstrong. The next offering is a strike, 1-1. Crow Armstrong had led off the bottom of the first with a triple off the glove of Luis Robert in deep left center. The 1-1 is downstairs. The White Sox tied the game on a home run by Miguel Vargas in the 4th inning. Hits are at a premium today. Just 3 hits for the White Sox, only 2 for the Cubs through 5 innings. Drew Pomeranz throwing in the Cub bullpen.
I like that Colin came back out for the 6th inning.
Here's a swing and a pop-up. He's been effective all day. On the right side of the infield is Bush making the catch.
I laugh because it's funny up here. It's not so funny when you're down there catching pop-ups in the wind. Michael, a little snow cone catch of that one.
We had a lot of adventuresome plays in the real windy conditions yesterday. Not quite as treacherous today, but it's a factor.
Yeah, I would agree.
Not too many things could be categorized as routine. 1 away, Miguel Vargas the batter. Vargas has homered and lined to right. He takes a strike, 1-1. It's on to Miami, the Cubs and the Marlins tomorrow night. 5:40 Central Time start. Ben Brown against Edward Cabrera. Swing and a miss. He chased a low outside slider. Jamison Tyone to start the middle game on Tuesday evening at 5:40. Marlins have not yet named their starters for the last 2 games. Cade Horton has been penciled in by Craig Counsell to start the Wednesday afternoon game. The 1-2 line toward short, over a leaping Swanson. It's a base hit for Vargas with 1 away. Dansby timed his leap. It was a soft liner, so he had time to measure exactly when he should jump and reach, and he just missed it. Good effort.
Yeah, great effort. Great. You're right. Timing's perfect. He got to the peak of his jump, and I think that ball just hit the tip of his glove, and that'll bring out Craig Counsell, and that will be all for Colin Ray. Excellent job today by Ray.
He will leave and get a very nice ovation from these Cub fans, and he deserves one. He leaves in a 1-1 tie in the 6th inning. Pitching changes by the Cubs. We can tell you that those are always sponsored by J.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs. And then next day, I got to eat arepas with eggs. So my mom make it for me. And then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindos.
Pirates. Brandon Marsh with the only RBI of that game. It came on a fielder's choice. Pat, there are a whole bunch of other games in progress as we speak.
Very good, Zach. Thank you. Meanwhile at Wrigley, bright, sunny, beautiful, windy, and coolish afternoon. 54 degrees at game time. Left-hander Drew Pomeranz now pitching with a man at first in a 1-1 tie in the top of the 6th inning. One away, and the right-handed batting Andrew Vaughn is pinch hitting for Joshua Palacios. So Vaughn batting. He's a right-handed hitter. He's always had some pop. And the pitch hit high in the air into shallow left center, racing in Suzuki. Calling and now squeezing, and that's out number 2. Pomeranz has really done an excellent job in a Cub uniform. I'm looking at his performance so far. 9 games. After that first out, he has now worked exactly 9 innings and allowed no runs on 2 hits. You simply can't do much better than he's done.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
Luis Robert lines one into left field, a base hit. Sharp one hopper between third and short. Stopping at second on the play is Vargas. And Robert has his first hit in 11 at-bats in the series.
Yeah, the White Sox really need Robert to swing the bat much better. He's, always been a big, a great power, but hitting below 200, that's not him. He's got to hit, use his speed, and be able to really be the leader of this offense. Hitting 180 coming into this series is not getting that done, but he's a guy that he can get red hot for a period of time and get rid of that 180 quickly.
Tommy Hotovy out to see about Drew Pomeranz and probably bring a little scouting report on Lenine Sosa with him. Sosa has grabbed a bat as a prospective pinch hitter. And this is a key spot in the ball game. Tied at 1, 2 down, top of the 6th, and runners at first and second.
First out in the inning. That's brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. And we were talking about this the other day. You think when you're in the office and it's just booming all the time, that would be boom.
Lenine Sosa, the batter. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's inside. Let me ask you this. This is a little bit of an unusual question, but we've known each other for a long time.
We're both kind of used to it, aren't we?
Well, yes. Happily so. 1-0 on Lenine Sosa. Pomeranz coming back to the plate. Here's a fly ball foul off to the right, out of play. When you were playing, and say you were pinch hitting like Sosa is right now, and you saw the other pitching coach go out and give them a scouting report on you, what do you think they would have said?
I think they would have said he uses the other side of the field. He's going to definitely be on your first pitch fastball. So if you're going to throw a fastball, be prepared for that and understand what you want to do to it, what you want to do with your pitch.
Here's a bluff move towards second. Go ahead, Rob.
And, so I think the scouting report would be, what pitch does he hit the best? Where does he hit the ball? And then you'd want to pitch accordingly. When I was coming off the bench, though, if they threw a fastball in the first couple pitches, I was definitely trying to put that pitch in play. And if it was first pitch fastball, I was on time with that fastball.
Always look for number 1.
Always.
1-2 on Lenine Sosa. 2 down, 2 on. Tie game, 6th inning.
I say that, though.
2 strikes.
Excuse me. I say that, though. That's pinch hitting. Not as an everyday player, but just in that pinch hitting role.
Strike 3 call. Pomeranz strikes out Sosa with what looked like a backdoor cutter. It just did hit the outside edge. It looked like it was going to be outside, and at the last second, it just jumped into the strike zone to end the inning.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Quality is better than other places, and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do it like a brisket, wrap, and an egg roll.
That's beautiful. You get the gold medal for culinary brisketry here in Texas.
Yes.
Products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
James Hardie Building Products knows how important your home is. That's why they're rated the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardie is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardie Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Game's tied at 1. Cubs with only 2 hits in the game. They need to get a few balls in flight. Maybe reach the seats once, Pat, to win this ballgame.
Vidal Brujan will lead it off here, Ron, in the bottom of the 6th inning against Jonathan Cannon, who's pitching a very good ball game. Cannon gave up a run in the very first inning after Crow Armstrong tripled to lead it off. He would score on a 1-out sac fly by Seiya Suzuki, and that's it. And he's only allowed 2 hits. His pitch count is down. He's only at 73. As we start the 6th inning, he misses outside to Brujan. Vidal would be happy to take a walk to get something started here. In on the grass at third is Vargas. The windup by Cannon and the pitch. Fouled away, 2-2.
Yeah, to your point, I really thought the Cubs were going to do pretty good against Cannon today. After that first inning, they hit the ball hard. They scored a run, but they banged the ball around. Cannon really settled in, and other than that first inning, that's been it. 2 hits in the first, and that's the end of the hits.
Here's a bouncing ball foul. And, Ron, you made the point early in the day that it was much more of a pitcher's day than a hitter's day than the last couple, for example. Those were pretty good hitter's days, warm, wind blowing out. Today, wind blowing in. Ball not really carrying. The 2-2. Inside ball 3.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple balls. The ball Dansby hit. There's a ball hit that I recall from the White Sox that might have reached the ball to right field. I think that ball might have reached the seats yesterday.
Here's a line drive, base hit into right field. Vidal Brujan lining one into right field, a 1-out single, or rather a leadoff single. His first hit of the day. Cubs have their 3rd hit. Brujan has very good speed. We've seen evidence of that already. And now Pete Crow Armstrong will step in.
Well, and the Cubs have done a very good job in this series of stealing bags yesterday. So he said they stole 6 in the game. They have a stolen base in this game. Michael Busch in the first. See if Brujan takes off.
The pitch to Pete Crow Armstrong is ball 1. No activity yet in the White Sox bullpen.
The White Sox pitchers have had a hard time holding runners on at first base in this series.
Here's a toss to first, as you said that, Ron. Diving back in is Brujan. Ball game tied at 1. Cubs trying to sweep the series, trying to beat the White Sox for the 8th consecutive time. Pete Crow Armstrong takes outside. Okay, now it's 2-0. What's on your mind?
Well, you're looking for that sweet spot pitch if you're Pete. You know this guy's got good movement on his pitches. I would look for, if you're Pete, you're looking for a ball down, a fastball, maybe down and in. If you don't get that pitch, you don't swing.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good hard cut on a borderline pitch. It might have been a little bit upstairs, but you can't blame a young guy for being aggressive on the 2-0 pitch. Now it's 2-1. PCA, as he is called, wears red batting gloves on either hand. The pitch. Swinging a foul back.
Now they're staying right up at the top of the zone in this at bat to Pete, and that, you know, one cutter and then one that goes the other way was the two-seamer.
Pete scored the Cubs run in the first after tripling. He's been on base now 15 straight games with a hit or a walk. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. 3 straight fastballs up around the chest, Ron.
Yeah, the biggest key, in this situation facing Cannon, maybe not right now because he's at a 2-2 count, but always trying to get the ball back down in the zone. Easy to say, not easy to do.
The 2-2, low and inside. Brujan bluffed on the 2-2 pitch. How about on 3-2? Is he moving?
I would say yes, absolutely. Cannon, I will say this, is really tried to quicken up his move to the plate, and he slide stepped a few times.
Time called. Pete Crow Armstrong tightening up the batting gloves on either hand. Dynamic young player. He's got all-star team written all over him. Pete Crow Armstrong. 7 for 12 in this series. Every time you look up, he's been speeding around the bases in this 3-game set. Here's the pitch. Brujan runs. The pitch pulled foul on the ground past first. Good battle.
Yeah, very good. Cannon threw a cutter that time inside. Pete hooked it foul. Good job of just protecting the plate. Say this, Brujan had a very good jump at first base.
Outfield straight away. Robert not real deep with the wind blowing in. Robert plays center. A lot of space behind him to the vines. Brujan leads at first. Toss over to chase him back in.
Brujan, that's the second throw over now. He can't throw over again unless they either pick him off or it ends up being a balk. But Brujan has a huge lead at first. He is way out there.
Ball game tied at 1, bottom of the 6th inning. There goes Brujan, the pitch, line, fair, inside first down the right field line. It bounces off the sidewall. Pete Crow Armstrong going for a double. Meanwhile, Brujan heading for the plate. He slides, he's safe! Safe at the plate. Cubs take a 2-1 lead.
Excellent base running by the Cubs. And Barry at third base held Brujan for a second until he saw the throw go to second base. When the throw goes to second to try to get Pete, Brujan was running with the pitch, scores all the way from first base. They're going to challenge. It's a close play at the plate, but I think he gets his hand in there before the tag.
The White Sox are going to challenge. This play is under review. Jeremy Rayhack, the home plate umpire, made that call. We're watching it again. Brujan slid in head first with his left hand. And the crowd reacting. From the angle I'm looking at, I can't tell for sure. Can you?
I am not 100% sure. My question would be, does Brujan touch the plate with that left hand right away when it gets over the top of it? The call on the field is safe, as we heard, but you have to have something that would cause you to overturn the call, and I don't know if we really have a great angle to overturn that. Do you?
No. He's reaching for the plate with his left hand. It's got a blue glove on the hand. The tag looks like it's up around the left shoulder.
Right.
On the head first slide. And they're taking a long look at it. It's a very close play. And the question is, when exactly did the glove touch the left arm of Brujan? Did it touch him around the elbow or up by the shoulder? If it's the elbow, he's going to be out. If it's the shoulder, I think his hand was already on the plate by that time.
I think the first touch of Brujan with the glove is on the shoulder. I do not think he touches him on the elbow.
If that's the ruling, then I like the Cubs' chances. Here comes the final
After review,
verdict.
the call in the field stands. The runner is
Safe at the plate. Cubs lead. Quentin Berry, third base coach, aggressive with nobody out. Also, Pete Crow Armstrong, very aggressive run, turning what would have been a single for most players into not only a double, but drawing the throw to second base. That turned out to be a factor on Brujan coming down the line at third.
As the right fielder, you almost have to give up the double to make sure you cut the run down at the plate and hold the guy at third. With Brujan running on the pitch, you know that's an issue. And they threw to second base. When that ball went to second, boy, that speeds up the game. And here we go. Now you got to play at the plate.
I believe Pete Crow Armstrong would get an RBI for that one. He's not going to get an RBI, we understand. Kyle Tucker waiting for the pitch. He hits a high fly ball to shallow left. Racing in is Baldwin. That's a tough play. The left fielder drops the ball. Drops the ball. The throw to second, and Tucker is going to be safe at second. Baldwin dropped the ball after a long run, the left fielder. The runner at second, Crow Armstrong, had to wait. He moved up to third, and Tucker not running all that hard. In fact, he slammed his bat down after he hit that pop fly, was almost out at second, but he gets the safe call.
Well, and this play is very close at second, but because of the last play, the Sox don't have a challenge.
Right.
And Tucker with a great slide into second base with the old swim move, pulled that left arm back, and the right one goes into the bag. And the Cubs take the lead.
It's a 2-1 lead for the Cubs. Runners at second and third now. Waiting for the scoring, I think Baldwin's going to get an error for dropping the ball in left. It was not a routine play run. With this wind after a long run. You can imagine how difficult that play must have been.
And that's an
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
So the reason I got to Cooperstown is because I played with Cal and I played with Eddie and I played with some of the greatest players ever. And, you know, I just had to figure out how I did my job, and I was honored to have some of the best players that ever played put on uniforms, and they happen to be Oriole uniforms. If there's ever any doubt that I'm 78, all I got to do is look at my old cards and I know.
You can stream over 50 live channels for $150 less than YouTube TV per year. From game time to prime time, it's the local channels you love, the news you need, and the sports you can't live without. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium, a $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
Right-hander Steven Wilson, the new pitcher for the White Sox. First pitch missing to Seiya. Infield in. Runners at second and third. Cubs lead 2-1 sixth inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. Great RBI opportunity for a number 3 hitter who already has an RBI today and 38 for the year, Ron.
Just got to stay through the middle of the field. He saw first pitch hook from Wilson.
From the stretch, the 1-1. Fly ball foul off to the right. Great speed on the bases with Pete Crow Armstrong, the runner, at third, and Kyle Tucker at second. We're going to pass along a station ID soon, not at this moment. Seiya waiting for the 1-2 from Wilson. And it's taken down low, 2-2. 10 for ID. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk in the morning on the Mully and Haw Show, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Now the 2-2 from the right-hander. Seiya checks and takes low, no swing. Full count, Michael Busch on deck.
That's a good take. Seiya close to swinging, does not. He did check, but after a bunch of breaking balls, and they ran that fastball down and in.
2-1 Cubs, bottom of the 6th. Runners lead, second and third. The pitch, check swing foul. A half swing. Seiya started to take his cut and then looked like he tried to check and accidentally fouled one off. That's when you breathe a sigh of relief that it didn't go into fair territory.
Yeah, that's the old emergency hack. You look at that ball going to foul territory, you're right, and you're like, all right, that's break for me.
Now the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Should be deep enough with Pete Crow Armstrong at third. Robert makes the catch. Here comes PCA. The throw goes to third. How about that? Coming in to score is Pete Crow Armstrong. Holding at second is Kyle Tucker. Big RBI for Seiya. His second of the day, his 39th of the year, and the Cubs lead 3-1.
Oh, very nice by Seiya, and this is a mistake by Wilson. He just throws a fastball, and this ball is center cut right down the middle. But I love for Suzuki is he didn't try to overdo it and try to hit this ball, out of the ballpark. You've got to put this ball in play in a very close game with the wind blowing in. You've got to drive in that run.
So now it's a 3-1 lead. One away in the inning. Michael Busch, the batter, with Tucker at second. Ground ball toward the middle. That's a base hit. Tucker around third. He will score. Cubs lead 4-1. One of those innings, Ron, where virtually every batter is doing his job properly.
Doing his job. Very aggressive base running by the Cubs and taking advantage. A very good inning. Michael Busch, he's hit the ball right on the button all 3 times today. He's 2 for 3.
Cubs have scored 3 in the inning. Lead 4-1. Busch with his 25th run batted in. That's his second hit of the day. Carson Kelly stands in. Kelly has flied out and struck out. The pitch to Carson is a strike.
Now Wilson on the mound, there's one out. He is slow to the plate. White Sox have had issues with the Cubs just running on him from first in particular. Wouldn't surprise me if you see Bushy take off again.
He's got a short lead, and now Wilson will chase him back with a pickoff throw. Big crowd at Wrigley, third sellout in a row. We're going to be in the 40,000 neighborhood again. We'll get the exact figure here within the hour, certainly. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a foul back. Nothing in 2.
RBIs by Cubs hitters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Ryan Presley now throwing in the Cub bullpen. Colin Ray, the pitcher of record after his 6-inning stint.
Huge hole on the right side of the diamond if he gets another slider to shoot this ball the other way.
Kelly takes strike 3 call. Kelly called out on strikes for the second straight time. That's the second out in the inning, and now the batter is Dansby Swanson.
Carson got caught guessing there. He was expecting slider for sure, and he got a fastball at the knees and couldn't pull the trigger.
Swanson has grounded out and flied to center. Toss to first. Bush dives back in.
Now we had a visitor in between innings, and to start this inning, Chris Chelios. Chelly have to wait till the seventh, till the bottom of the sixth to come in. If he'd came in earlier, we might have a pretty good lead. Let's go.
He was wearing a Pearl Jam shirt, by the way. Here's the pitch to Swanson. It's down low for a ball.
He's smart enough. He likes all the fans in Chicago growing up here. He wasn't going to wear one or the other. He's smarter than that. Yeah.
Eddie Vedder is a huge Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him here lately. There's a fly ball to right toward the line. Taylor over near the sidewall. That ball sails out of play, foul territory.
You've got some friends, I know, that you go, sometimes you'd like to have some of their life, at least for that week or so. Jelly's been here this weekend, and he's getting on a plane, and Pearl Jam is playing, he said, in Pittsburgh.
Tonight?
Tomorrow, this week. So struggle on for Chelly. That's another tough one. He was out on the boat. Yeah. Hockey players, the summer's off. Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
He did not look real stressed.
No.
Here's the 1-1. Pop foul off to the right, out of play. Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did he put in, 20 years in the NHL?
Yeah, north of that.
Years?
He played till he was almost 50 years old. I think he was 47 or 48 when he retired.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. It really is. Bruce Levine and I were talking about that earlier when we were watching Chelly throw out the first pitch. And the mental toughness of playing that sport that long, incredible.
And the 1-2 on the way. Outside to Dansby Swanson. Who was it? Gordie Howe that played until he was 58?
Yeah, something like that.
58. Now the 2-2. Dansby pops it up. This is going to end the inning. The first baseman, Elko, will make the catch right on the first base line. But it's a prosperous sixth inning rally for the Chicago Cubs. 3 runs on the same number of hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We go to the 7th. Cubs 4, White Sox 1 this.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
Watermelon in the summer. That's the power of hefty, ultra-strong trash bags with Fabuloso.
Hefty, hefty, hefty! We're gearing up for another season, and you can too at Suits 2020 in Niles. More than just suits, casual wear, sportswear, and more. Suits 2020, the latest fashions at the lowest prices.
We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
All right, Zach. Ryan Presley is the new right-handed reliever. The ball is bounced off the bat of Caro to short, fielded by Swanson over to first. Out number 1. Cubs on top 4-1. It is Colin Ray's game to win, and he pitched deserving of a win.
He really threw the heck out of the baseball, that's for sure. Him and Pomerantz both coming in and doing their job. Now it's Presley's turn to throw up another goose egg.
Tim Elko steps in, and he'll swing away and foul it away. Presley making his 18th appearance.
Pitching changed by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
7th inning, a 3-run lead for the Cubs as they try to sweep all 3. And Elko will take strike 2 call. That's the idea. Throw strikes. If they're going to come back, make them earn the comeback with hits. No walks allowed. Elko open stance, hits out of a bit of a crouch, takes high for a ball, 1-2. Well, the hardest working player. There are so many of them, Ron. It's a little bit of a difficult assignment to try to narrow it down to just 1 or 2 guys. One, really, the hardest working player. Here's a bouncing ball to the hole at short. Backhanded by Swanson. Off balance throw. Not in time. Dansby was off balance. He was on the outfield grass. After he made that backhand stop, he got up. He was way off balance, made a sidearm throw, and just a wink of an eye too late. What a great effort by Dansby, though.
This is a highlight reel play, whether he's out at first or not. That's about as athletic a move as a shortstop's going to make. As he's throwing this ball sidearm, which he throws a strike to first base, he's falling on his backside.
Brooks Baldwin, the batter, he'll take a pitch outside. So it's an infield hit for Elko. 1 away, a man at first. Cubs lead 4-1 here in the 7th inning. The footwork that Dansby uses on those plays, just amazing. Because you're using a lot of energy and concentration just to get your glove cleanly picking up the ball. You're on the run. You have to reach down near the ground. And it's as if he's already got his feet ready to make a throw before he even touches the ball.
Yeah, it's like he's 2 steps ahead of the play itself. In his mind, he's 2 steps ahead of what he's got to do before he ever fields the ball, because you'd have to get rid of it that way.
And to get a little bit of leverage under your body to make a throw from shallow left field all the way to first. Here's a smash back to Presley. Gloves it on 1 hop. Throw to second for 1. Over to first. Double play. 1-6-3 double play ends the inning. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch as the Cubs lead by a score of 4-1 here at Wrigley. And for the 7th inning stretch, the aforementioned Chris Chelios, Hockey Hall of Famer, former Chicago.
Hey, Chicago! This one goes out to one of the greatest Cubs ever, the captain. Bring us a World Series championship. No better guy on the field, no better guy off the field. So to Anthony Rizzo and his family, if he is retiring, this one's going out. Let's hear Rizzo, Rizzo. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the if they don't win, it's a shame, for it. All game. All right, Kelly, let's get some runs.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Ian Happ. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
On ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
For over 60 years, Fitzgerald Equipment has kept Illinois and Wisconsin moving with forklifts, rentals, and expert service. Featuring heli forklifts built to go the distance. Visit FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Trusted equipment powered by Heli. Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Proud partner of Cubs Radio.
Justin Turner at the plate, Nico Horner on deck. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Pat?
Justin Turner batting. Brandon Eisert, a left-hander, is the new pitcher for the White Sox. Cubs enjoying a 4-1 lead here on this sunny Sunday afternoon, and we thank you for joining us. Turner takes outside, the count 1-2. Turner batting for Ballesteros. Horner on deck, and then Brujan. And now the 1-2. Swinging a foul back and out of play. We've got some business to take care of. Hardest working player of the game. Seiya Suzuki has a couple of RBIs today, and he made a brilliant throw in the first inning.
Yeah.
As part of a 7-2 double play. I think he's going to be a pretty strong candidate for that hardest working player of the game. Brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Strike three to Turner. That's out number one.
Foul tip into the glove. This pitch is down and foul tipped. It's actually, they were wondering whether it hit the dirt or not, and it did not. Jeremy Rahak with a good call.
Horner pulls one fair inside third down the left field line. Bounces off the sidewall. Nico hustling to second for a stand-up double. Horner gets his first hit of the day. Let's see if the Cubs can add to their 4-1 lead.
Well, yeah, this ball just inside the bag at third and goes rattling around the sidewall. Nico with a stand-up double. It's be a big run for the Cubs to get here in this seventh.
Brujan, a switch hitter, will turn around and bat right-handed for the first time today. And the pitch, a little looping line drive, base hit right center. Corner around third. He's going to score. Cubs lead 5-1. Vidal Brujan with his second run batted in of the season. And the Cubs lead by 4.
Good swing by Brujan, little inside out on his fastball in. But an even better read by Nico Horner at second. Just a soft line drive and goes over the second baseman Sosa's head. And Nico gets a great read and scores easily because of his read and being able to take off early.
Brujan to be held on first by Elko. Pickoff throw by Eisert is over there. Opposing pitching change in the inning, sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Around to bunt is PCA. He takes outside for a ball.
Go ahead, Ben.
He's been right in the middle of a couple of scoring innings. A triple in the first, a double in the sixth. Scored a couple, drove in one. Another big day for Pete Crow Armstrong. Outside ball 2, Ron.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Him hustling out of the box and forcing the White Sox or putting pressure on them to throw the ball to second in his last at-bat allowed Brujan to score.
He's around a bunt, takes up and in ball 3. Pickoff throw to first, not in time there. As Brujan dives back in. Now the count has gone to 3-0 on Pete Crow Armstrong.
I'm guessing he's taking here.
Cubs trying to get to 9 games above 500 for the first time this season. There is a strike. 3-1. Trying to wrap up a 5-1 home stand. It's got a nice sound to it. 3-1 on the way. Swinging a foul back.
All reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Cubs looking for their 15th home win against 10 losses. Now the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him on a curveball, and that's out number 2. Pretty good breaking ball by Eisert. And Kyle Tucker coming up. White Sox struggling and invariably run. If you're a struggling team, you're going to find it very difficult to win road games or road series. You're just not going to win many. And the White Sox were 5-20 in road games before today. Here's the pitch to Tucker, a swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, in this series, this has been a series where, all the starting pitching did pretty good on both sides, but it's little key plays that have either been made or not been made. And when you don't make them and the wind's blowing out like games 1 and 2, you pay the price. And the White Sox have not made some plays that, and they ended up costing them runs. Same thing has happened again today.
There's a line drive into shallow center, a base hit. Brujan running with the pitch. He'll round second and motor on to third. Tucker collecting a base hit. First and third, 2 down. A run in. Cubs on top 5-1. And here is Seiya Suzuki, who has delivered not one but 2 different sacrifice flies in this ballgame. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, it really is. The last one was a big one because the Cubs really needed him to drive in that run. He was behind in the count and hit one to center. Good to see Tuck square that last pitch up. That pitch was up and out over the plate. He had a bullet back through the middle.
7th inning stretch was sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Will Venable to the mound. Is he going to make a change? He's got a right-hander, Miguel Castro, getting ready. And I think that's going to be all for Eisert. He will leave, and so will we. Just for a quick timeout. Pitching changes by the opposition. Those are sponsored.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
TimberTech decking and railing, everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Pat?
We like to watch the video board during commercial breaks. And when people discover they are on camera, it's quite comical the way some people react. For example, if they have a beverage in their hand, all of a sudden they're extremely thirsty.
Yeah. Till it's gone. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. I'd prefer you not do that in the booth or I. It could hinder our performance.
Thanks for that warning as Miguel Castro delivers a pitch to Seiya Suzuki outside.
It's been 12 years and we haven't done it yet. I think we're in safe ground here.
Suzuki waiting for Castro, the pitch. Swing and a foul. Castro has all arms and legs. Not literally, but that's kind of an old saying.
And it kind of slings it on up there.
Cubs have scored a run in the inning, lead 5-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Big crowd at Wrigley. Cubs trying to finish off a 3-game sweep. And the 1-1 to Suzuki. Breaking ball strike. Good pitch by Castro. Kansas City leading St. Louis 2-1. They're in the 9th inning in KC. Fastball is outside. It's only the 18th of May. Maybe a little early for most people to be scoreboard watching. Most people, I said. Now the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? No swing, says John Tumpane. First base umpire. That was close.
Yeah, that's really close. The barrel did not break in front of his wrists or hands, but he was really close to the front edge of home plate.
Swinging a foul back by Suzuki. Every time I see a replay like that run, I'm kind of surprised that there's no wording in the baseball rule book regarding what exactly constitutes a swing or a check swing. It's pretty much eyeballing it, using your experience and your judgment as the umpire.
I can tell you what they use as their judgment. If they think the barrel has gotten out in front of their hands at all, the head of the bat.
3-2 pitch is low for ball 4. And that's a base on balls that will load the bags now for Michael Busch.
Yeah, if the barrel gets out in front of their hands and their wrist break and the barrel goes forward and does not stay back behind, that's one thing. And the other one, I always felt, if the barrel of the bat got out in front of the front edge of home plate, it was always called a strike.
I like both of those. Here's the pitch to Busch, in for a strike. I've heard umpires really simplify it and say, did he swing at the pitch?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And is the answer yes? Okay, it's a strike. If no, it's not.
Right.
Keep it real simple.
But there is nothing, as you said, in the rule book that really distinguishes that.
Here's a pitch inside to Busch, and the count 1-1.
But yet we appeal that call how many times a game? 4, 5, 6 times?
So you said if the barrel goes across in front of his body?
In front of the front edge of home plate. If you start to swing and all of a sudden, even though the barrel hasn't come in front of your hands, it crosses that front edge of home plate, they usually call that a strike. And if they ever see the barrel get out in front of your wrist, where your wrist break and it goes in front, that's usually always called.
The 1-1 to Busch is down low. The only problem with crossing the plate would be the fact that you can either stand in the very back of the batter's box, in the middle, or even in the front, maybe, if you're facing a guy who throws a lot of off-speed pitches. So that would have a bearing on where the plate is with your swing. Fly ball to right. Back goes Taylor, battling the sun, and makes the catch on the edge of the warning track in straightaway right to end the inning. But it's another good inning. The Cubs get a run on 3 hits. They leave 3. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Cubs 5 and the White Sox 1. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
To 1-1 over the White Sox. This 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877. Cars for Kids, that's Cars with a K, to donate your car today.
Brad Keller is the new pitcher for the Cubs. Big, huge right-hander. Working on Michael Taylor. First pitch a strike. The next offering swung on and missed. That's the idea. You lead in a ball game and you're pitching in the late innings. Throw strikes. Make them earn their comeback. The attendance today, 40,152. 3 straight crowds of 40,000 plus. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Keller makes quick work of Taylor. Out number 1 on the strikeout. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity, where the Wi-Fi is booming. Chase Meidrith bounces one to first. Unassisted play, Michael Busch, and Keller has gotten 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning.
Nicky Lopez now in the game at third base for the Cubs. Cubs pitching changes are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
So 40,000. Looks like I was the closest in the guessing today. I'm going to celebrate by going to Miami.
Wow. Can I go with you?
On the Cubs team playing. Yep, you can be my guest. Got it all taken care of.
What a partner.
Yeah. Do what we can.
Yep. Got a charter plane and everything for us, don't you?
That's exactly right. And inside, and Vargas gets hit by the pitch, and he's staring out at Brad Keller. There's no way Keller was trying to hit him.
No.
Vargas took umbrage and is staring out at Keller. I don't think many guys are going to charge Brad Keller to the mound.
No.
He's about 6'6", 6'7", weighs about 260 or 70 pounds.
Yep, I would agree. And there's no way that we're trying to hit Vargas. And you're up 5-1. Cubs have had a good series. You're just trying to get outs.
2 down here in the 8th inning. Vargas hit by the pitch. And it brings up Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn flied out as a pinch batter back in the 6th. He's batting for the 2nd time now. Cubs lead 5-1. Top of inning number 8 with 2 away. So thanks to Benny's Beverage Depot for sponsoring the daily attendance game, and we'll play it again tomorrow night in South Florida. Please stay tuned for the toast of the game. Speaking of Benny's, they also sponsor the toast of the game ball player, sponsored by Benny's Beverage Depot and named by Ron Coomer. And that's coming up in the 9th inning. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Zach Zaidman feverishly preparing the postgame show right now. Here comes the 2-1 pitch on the way. Vaughn swings and misses, 2-2. Postgame show. The Verizon Cubs radio postgame show featuring Zach Zaidman and his fever. And the 2-2 low for a ball. It's 3-2.
He's so locked in, he didn't even hear you talk about his post-game show.
He's preparing that show. He's locked in, focused. Next pitch popped up shallow right. Routine play for Tucker. Yeah, that's easy for me to say up here. Tucker makes the catch. That was not an easy play, but Tucker made it look so. Inning over. Sox don't score. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs 5, White Sox.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
What is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest thing is I started collecting when I was a kid. O-Pee-Chee was a Canadian hockey league, and then the Canadian football. But I didn't start in the U.S. until I had signed professionally as a ball player. And when I got my first rookie card, and I've got it here with me.
Let's take a peek at that.
1966 with Billy Sorrell.
Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Cubs gear.
To both games.
Huh?
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Miguel Castro, the right-hander on the mound for the Sox. I believe that both Brad Keller and Miguel Vargas were issued a warning. I'm not sure exactly what that even means, Ron. I don't think either man was ejected.
It's actually each bench. So now if the umpires deem somebody's getting thrown at, they'll be ejected from the ballgame, and so will the manager of that team. They were a little jawing, not from Keller, but from Vargas in between innings as they were going off the field.
Carson Kelly, nothing for 3 today. Here's the pitch to Carson. Fly ball to left. Deep but playable. Baldwin, the left fielder, now running in, makes the catch, and that's out number 1. 1 gone. Dansby Swanson, the hitter. Walks by Cubs batters. Are things that lead to rallies many times. And they also are sponsored. And you'd think I would know by now that walks are sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Dansby Swanson swings and misses. It's only game number 47. You can't memorize these things immediately, Ron. They take time.
Yeah.
I think by mid-September I'll have many of these things memorized.
Top of your game by then.
Maybe. 1-1 on Dansby. And the pitch. Lifted foul off to the right, out of play.
Meat of the order for the Cubs, presented by Chef IQ Sense. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com.
See, now that was impressive because you did that without even reading a script. And that's where I want to get to be someday.
No, you don't. I think this thing's worked out pretty good just the way you're doing it.
Here's a roller down the third baseline. Backhand diving stop by Vargas. But that's going to be a base hit, an infield single for Swanson. Tremendous stop by Vargas. But it's a base hit. He might have saved a double.
Yeah, no doubt. If this ball gets past him, it's going to roll into that grass in the outfield and then just kind of die by the sidewall. And for sure, it would be a double for Swanson.
Cubs 5, White Sox 1, bottom of the 8th. Dansby continues his string with that infield single of reaching base now 18 consecutive games with either a hit or a walk. I was going to look up the all-time record. I believe it was Ted Williams, and it was some unbelievable number. As Justin Turner hits a high fly ball into shallow right, coming in and making the catch is the right fielder Taylor. I want to say Ted Williams back in the 1940s or 50s reached base on either a hit or a walk in something like 84 consecutive games. I could be wrong on that. But I wonder if that is something we would have access to, and I thank Zach Zaidman for looking that up.
Yeah, Williams holds the MLB record for the longest on-base streak, 84 consecutive games in 1949.
Now that is amazing.
Think of that.
That really is amazing, Ron. You played big league ball.
Yeah.
Getting on base every day for more than half of a season consecutively?
That's
Are you kidding?
No, it's unbelievable.
Nico Horner at the plate takes low and in. And even in those days, the pitchers were not maybe as gifted as some of the guys are today, but they were the best pitchers in the world at that time, just as they are today.
That's right.
Here comes the 1-0, and Nico takes high, running and stealing second base is Dansby Swanson. Kind of a delayed steal, didn't take off immediately.
Yeah, I think Dansby just didn't get a great jump at first. 7th stolen base of the year, but I think the Cubs really feel like they've got something figured out here against this White Sox club, and you can run on them, and that's what the Cubs have done whenever they get a chance.
Nico lines one fair inside third down the left field line, a base hit. Another run is in. Nico going for 2. He's going to have a double. Cubs lead 6-1.
Second double of the ball game for Nico. Second double down the left field line for Nico. Double number 11 as he drives in another Cubs run. And it has been that way for the White Sox in this series, that once their bullpen got into the game, the Cubs have scored some runs.
RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Old National Bank. A left-handed batter now hitting for the Cubs.
And another steal by the Cubs. Steals are powered by a Turo tire. Cubs have done some running in this series.
Nicky Lopez batting. And he'll take down low, 2-0. Two outs in the inning, a run in. Cubs on top 6-1. Miguel Castro fires. Lopez takes a strike. And the count 2-1. Tough play of the game. Lots of tough plays in the sun and wind at Wrigley. Is there any one play run that sticks out in your mind above all others? Here's a drive toward left. It's going to be caught by Baldwin, and that's going to end the inning. The Cubs scratch out another run. We go to the 9th inning. Cubs 6, White Sox 1. This is the score.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
Anything but ordinary.
Hefty.
Guys, this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
Julian Merriweather is the man on the mound, Zach, in this 9th inning. It's not a save situation. The lead is a little too large. 6-1 Cubs. Cubs out hitting the White Sox 10-6. Luis Robert Jr. will lead off the inning. Now the third base coach is having an argument with Brennan Miller, the third base umpire. I'm not sure what this is all about.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. This just kind of happened in the middle of the in-between innings. They're getting ready to start the inning, and then all of a sudden, things got carried away down there.
Justin Jersley is the third base coach, and he was arguing with Brennan Miller, the third base umpire. I don't know if this had something to do with the incident earlier.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Keller and Vargas.
And the White Sox, who had a tough series. They got, 3 more outs. Cubs have a chance of sweeping them. And, those things get frustrating. And you get hot and tempers get short. And that's just what happens in a big league series and big league baseball. You can understand it.
I don't know if Jersley has been ejected.
I don't think so.
Will Venable is out there talking with, I think that's Chris Conroy that he's chatting with right now. Venable, former Cubs coach for several years. Again, a lot of emotion in this series, and there always has been. And now we're ready for the resumption of play as Venable jogs off the field. Top of the ninth, Cubs on top 6-1. And Merriweather ready to go to work. 6'4" right-hander, tall, strong at 215 pounds. Luis Robert Jr. to lead off the top of the ninth inning. First pitch. Check swing, did he go? Yes, 0-1.
Cubs pitching changes, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Now the 0-1 on the way. Line down the left field line. That's going to be a fair ball into the left field corner. Luis Robert Jr. will have his second hit of the day, a ringing double right down the line in left.
Yeah, that ball is a bullet hit down the line. Ninth inning brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Cubs lead 6-1, Ron.
Robert hitting now probably right at 180. We were talking about this earlier. He's way too good a player to be hitting 180. He will figure this out and get back hot for the White Sox.
Pitching changes for the Cubs, brought to you by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. It's time for you, Ron, to be naming the Toast of the Game ball player. Sponsored by Benny's Beverage Depot. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Lenyn Sosa. And it's in for a strike, 1-1. So any thoughts on the player of the game?
We got a lot of guys. Horner with 2 doubles drove in. How about Suzuki with 2 sacked flies, a walk, a great play on defense.
Line drive, base hit to center. White Sox making some noise now, have 2 men on with nobody out in the ninth inning. They still trail by 5 runs. But now you start to see the importance of getting insurance runs in a ball game.
But how about Pete Crow Armstrong? He had one heck of a series. He had 8 hits. He had a bunch of RBIs, hit a home run. He's made some great plays. Great base running. Sometimes, the hustle and the great base running and what that does to your team taking an extra base has just electrified the fans and the team. So how about Pete Crow Armstrong?
Bounce toward the middle. Swanson, great play. Throws to first to get him in time. Excellent play by Dansby. He took a base hit away from Caro. A run scores on the play, but that's the first out in the inning, and now it's a 6-2 Cubs lead.
Excellent play by Dansby. He catches this ball, then slides and comes up and makes a good throw.
And Tim Elko batting. Safe at second is the runner Sosa.
And with our toast of the game, Benny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Elko takes a strike. Elko nothing. Let's see, make it 1 for 3 in the game. He'll swing and foul it back. 0-2. Bruce Levine is down near the Cubs' third base dugout. He'll get one of the Cubs to join him for a brief conversation at game's end. Now the 0-2 on the way to Elko is down low. Short lead at second. And now Merriweather to Elko. The pitch fouled away, and we'll do it again. Cubs trying to achieve something they have not done this season, and that's get 9 games above the 500 mark. Trying to wrap up a 5-1 homestand.
Daniel Palencia now warming up in the Cubs bullpen.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's out number 2. Elko did not run. The pitch was in the dirt after he swung and missed. And sometimes when you start walking back to the dugout, the umpire says, okay, you're out. And at that point, you cannot change your mind and start to run to first. 2 down. Brooks Baldwin, the batter. Pulls the bouncer foul, first base side. Fans are standing at Wrigley. Fans got their money's worth this weekend. Lots of drama and excitement.
How about over 120,000 people here this weekend?
The atmosphere run has been very special. And it always is, both here and at Guaranteed Rate Field. It's the fans have a lot to do with making this a great rivalry. They really do. And the 0-2. Bouncing ball toward the middle. Backhanded by Nico. Gloves it. Gets up. Throws to first in time. Excellent play by Nico Horner. The ball game is over. The Cubs have won again. They finish off a 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the White Sox here at Wrigley today. Just a very well-played 3-game series by the Chicago Cubs.
Absolutely. And they pitched it. They ran the bases exceptionally well. They pitched very well. Starters did their job. Offense really did a great job banging the ball around the field, running the bases well. But this 9th inning